Well, we are talking about Snow White again because the first reactions from the premiere that happened on Saturday have come out, and they're all surprisingly positive, such as The Hollywood Reporter saying, Snow White first reactions praise remake, a big surprise, Rachel Zegler stuns. Disney held the LA premiere of its live-action reboot starring Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot on Saturday, and early reactions to the film say that it is far better than anticipated, CGI to aside.
Right.
I will say that The Hollywood Reporter is the one that says premiere reactions tend to come from fan bloggers and influencers and typically skew more positive than formal critic reviews, of which Snow White has had suspiciously few so far. There is a review embargo that lifts tomorrow, Wednesday, at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific. But continuing, despite becoming an internet punching bag, Disney's remake of Snow White is actually mostly successful, wrote Matt DeGroot of Crooked Media. Rachel Zegler is an absolute star. Most of the new songs are catchy and beautifully performed, and the visual palette is sumptuous and vibrant. Gal Gadot had beautiful gowns. It's a solid 3.5 out of 5. Cinderella is my favorite of the remakes, but I'd put this on par with The Little Mermaid in the next tier of my rankings with the rest. But Variety specifically said that Rachel Zegler was a shining supernova, adding that the film is a visual feast with show-stopping new musical numbers and, of course, dozens of enchanting animated animals. The screenplay wisely gives its heroine newfound depth through her fervent desire to become the leader her father believed she could be, and a love story that's sweet as apple pie. Well, that one line sounds very familiar.
She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
And, enchanting animated animals, having seen pictures from the premiere, I do know that they managed to have a actual real rabbit on the red carpet. So I'm really wondering how you couldn't train some animals to take down your CGI budget a bit. But anyways, I really just get the feeling there is one, before I get to my thoughts on how this is going to go, there was one person who said that while Gal Gadot is great as the evil queen, Snow White isn't a great remake of the animated classic, wrote Carl Kaka at Future of the Force. Rachel Zegler is a poor Snow White. The changes to the story and lyrics are awful. Some special effects are not that special, and the film didn't land with it for me. A huge shame. But my thoughts on this are, I think that the movie itself is probably mid at best. Like, it's not going to be terrible, but it's not going to be great, because all of these people who got to go to the premiere saying, it's wonderful, it's great, it's gonna be, the way you thought it, Rachel Zegler was gonna be, it's not. And it's all this praise that just seems like it's like really just trying to hype it. But I just, in my gut, I feel that this thing is mid, because if it was really good, I feel like they would have let more of the reviews be out already, other than, the first reactions from people who saw it on, like, X and everything like that. But I think this is mid, and they spent way more on it than they probably should have. And they're now in a Little Mermaid situation where it probably is not going to break even. I mean, the projections now have lowered to between 45 and 55 million domestically for opening weekend, and it maybe makes 100 million worldwide in its opening weekend. But I'm going with my gut that it's mid at best, which means, if you're not getting glowing, people coming out of the theater saying it's wonderful, telling their friends that it's wonderful, like it's one of the greatest things they've ever seen, they're not going to go, and they're not going to get more people going. And I mean, this is where Snow White has ended. From the very first movie of the Walt Disney Company to probably the worst live action remake. And like that's the other thing is they're saying that the remake is the best live action remake in all these early things. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be the next, the great live action until Lilo and Stitch. Then that one will become the next greatest live action remake. Because that'll be how it works. Everything is like great until the next great thing. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. If you like what you heard, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Don't expect a miracle.